Hello everyone and welcome to Flosstube number 9. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel today. Thank you so much if you are a returning viewer or if you subscribed from my last video, which was those 50 free Christmas cross stitch patterns. Thank you for coming back and joining me for another video. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of tell you what we're going to do in today's video. So I have one finish. I have 5 whips, I believe. I'm going to tell you my Christmas and July plans, and then also bought some PDF patterns. At the end, I'm going to have my, well, it was going to be my 100 subscriber giveaway, but like I said, I'll talk more about this at the end, but now I have like 400 and some change subscribers, so it's going to be our 400 subscriber giveaway. And so I'm going to go through that at the end and tell you how you can enter. And then I scored on some floss as a gift that I want to show you because it's kind of crazy, and also ask your opinion / advice about. So let's go ahead and jump into our fully finished items. So you have seen this before if you've watched my videos. This is Midnights by Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. So there's the model, and here is what mine looks like. It's not fully finished, but I did finish it. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is Midnights, like I said, by Frizzy Lizzy Stitches. This is stitched on 32 count Peaceful Purple. I used all the copper flosses and stitched it 2 over 2. So you can see I did the dominoes there. When I first did the dominoes, I didn't quite realize that they had back stitching all around them. So I was like, well, these X's don't look the best. But when you go back and do, I saw like towards the end, once I finished all it, why is that not focusing? Focusing on my hair, time to focus on my stitching. There we go. When I was at the end and I saw that it was, I noticed there was back stitch on those, and so I went back and back stitched. It makes them look so much cleaner. Love all those little motifs. We have the Karma is a cat. We have the bejeweled. It's me. Hi. The problem, it's me. The back stitching on that is impeccable. Not my work, but this the pattern itself. I love the back stitching and how that looks. We have the friendship bracelet. Can I ask you a question? The spilled rosé, cat eye. Yeah, love it. I really want to put this in. I would love to find an oval frame. I may have to get it custom framed if I want to do that. But I am going to search for an oval frame first and then kind of see what I can find. And if not, I'll probably get this one custom framed because I love it so much and I want that to hang in my craft room. Okay, next is a new start. I told you I was going to start this because I was going on a beach trip, which I got back from last week. So this video is, normally I have 2 weeks between my floss tubes. This one is 3 just because of that trip. So this one is the Summer House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. I am stitching that one. I might eventually do those, but I really wanted to do that one because it looked like the beach house we were staying in, and this is a beach house we've stayed in quite a lot. I did change the color of the house to reflect the house we were staying in. So here is what I have so far. I changed the color of that house. It was originally Blue Jay. I changed it to Pumpkin Harvest by Classic Colorworks. And I'm stitching this on 14 count French latte 2 over 1. I wanted to do a 14 count so it'd be easy for me to see while I was there, and I'm so glad I did. I didn't get a ton of stitching done while I was there. Like, honestly, if I only had the orange on this section here and then I did the rest when I came home. It was, yeah, not as much stitching time as I thought. Traveling with a 3-year-old and your in-laws is no joke. You just don't have as much time as you think you will. But I really like it so far. It doesn't look wonderful yet because it does look so incomplete, but I can't wait to continue working on that. Next, oh my gosh, I'm really excited about this one. You have seen this one before, and it is my Mill Hill Christmas Village. This is the Village Inn. So here's what it looks like. Hold it there for you. Right, and then I finished all the stitching on this one, which I don't think I had all the stitching. I definitely didn't have all the stitching finished last time. Sorry, moving my project bags around. So I have all the stitching done. And you can see the house is really starting to take shape. There is stitches there. You can't really tell because it's kind of same color as the fabric in some places. But once you have the beads, you'll really be able to tell. And I started adding beads. So we have some beads down here on that side. That right there is a row of beads. You can see it over the door. I started some beading there. I have a lot to go. I love the beading. It's so fun. This is my first beading project. So let me hold this up so you can be looking at it while I'm talking. This is my first beading project, but I really like it so far. I am a pretty slow beader so far. Hopefully I'll get a little bit quicker. I mean, it's about the process, not the finished product. I mean, it's about both, but it's mostly about enjoying the process while you're doing it, and then you get to appreciate the finished product for years to come. But I am a pretty slow beader so far since it is my first time doing it. And these are the petite beads, so they are taking a full cross stitch. So I think too, once I do some of the bigger ones, when it only takes a half, I'll go a little bit quicker too. But my plan is to get all those white beads done and then go on with another color of beads. So I can go ahead and have all those done. Then go on with another color. I feel like that's the easiest route in my mind with my novice beading experience. All right, next is another new start. I have been very squirrely. I'm just going to tell you. This is a Stitch for All Seasons Summer by Little Dove Designs. And I'll put that picture here because I do have a PDF. I have it printed out, but I don't have the cover photo printed out. And this is on 14 count light blue design work. So this is what the full piece is going to be. And this is what I've done. Like I said, it's on 14 count light blue. This is a Little Dove Designs pattern. This is the second Little Dove Designs pattern I have done so far. So we have our summer banner. Yeah, the bottom of the E and the R don't have the white in the summer word yet. We have one little bus. I believe there's 3 or 4 little buses. There's some back stitching up here. My goal is going to be to do, because it's kind of broken down into like squares. So my goal is going to be to do one of those a month until probably the fall, and then I'll put this up until next summer. I really love this, and I thought it was a good timely seasonal start, which I needed some more of those because I feel like I have a lot. Well, the summer house was one, and that kind of inspired me to do that one. But you'll see, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I stitch on a lot of Christmas and fall, like throughout the whole year. So I really wanted some more seasonal in-season starts. Next, I'm sure you've seen this one a lot if you're a Flosstube watcher, is the Deadly Aquarium SAL by Lola Crow Crossstich. I am stitching this on 36 count Nessie, 1/2. And here is my progress so far. So I finished that. Hold on. Let me fold it. I haven't worked on that any, so let me just fold it and do it this way. I got that first release done. We have the eel. I think it's a moray eel. I believe that's right. The little diver's helmet. Did the little blow puffer fish. My son calls them puffy fish. So the little puffy fish. We did that seaweed there, and that was release number 2. And I'm slowly working my way to release number 3. I didn't take this with me when I went on vacation, so I did get a little behind. But there's actually no new release this week. That's the word I was looking for. So I'm hoping I can get caught up. Focus, there we go. So you can see right here, there is fire coral there, which you would have seen in the picture. And so I'm working on the base for that fire coral. And then I want to get the fire coral done and hopefully one fish by the time the next release comes out. And there is, on that last release, there's 3 fish, but I am going to be realistic and say I get the coral and 1 fish done. I love this so far. Really excited about it. I'm still super jazzed about my fabric choice, which I've seen a few other people have really pretty fabrics. And at first I was like, I have major FOMO. I wish I'd picked a different fabric. But the more I do on it, the more I really enjoy and love my fabric. Okay. Next, we have our Christmas in July, or our Christmas July plans. My Christmas in July plans. I have a lot. So kind of my structure for my Christmas in July is I want to finish 3 smalls. That is my goal, is to finish 3 smalls. It doesn't matter what they are. I just want to finish 3 of them. I'm going to let myself start any of these projects I want. But I'm not allowed to work on anything but Christmas in July. Only Christmas projects. The Deadly Aquarium SAL is going to go away for a little while. We're just going to focus on Christmas. So The first thing I have is I'm going to be putting these patterns on the string because I don't have any of the I have a couple of the patterns here with me, but a lot of them are digital. This is not A Creature Was Stirring. This is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and this came in the Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine 2016. Now, side note, if you don't have this magazine and you want this pattern, this is how I got it, is I signed up for Readily. I'll tag it down below or put the link down below so it'll be really easy for you to find. It's basically a digital magazine subscription, and what I did is when I signed up, they gave me a month's free trial, which is really, really nice. You can like try it and see and go back to all the old magazines. And what I did is looked them up on my phone and then just screenshotted the patterns from there. And then after that, it's $12.99 a month. Obviously, you can cancel before that $12.99 charge if you want to. I'm going to continue subscribing because I do find a lot of value in it, even just for like Magnolia Journal and things like that, but also very valuable for cross stitch magazines. They put the Just Cross Stitch Halloween for 2024 is up there, so I've looked through that and scoped out the patterns I want from that. But anyway, if you want this pattern, you can get it that way. And I am using 18 count vintage. This is a zweigart fabric. I bought it from Hobby Lobby. The called for fabric was so beautiful, but I couldn't find it. So I did that instead, and I'm using all the called for flosses. You hold these up. Most of them are DMC, and then there is one Weeks Fireworks. All right, there we go. You can see those there. All right, the next one I'm planning on starting is the Rack Stack by Plum Street Samplers. This one, the called for fabric was antique green, which I really, really liked. But again, I found some similar things, but nothing that was perfect. Now, upon deciding on the fabric, I actually saw that there's, I think it's Sampler Green from XJU Designs, I believe that's how you say it, which actually would have probably been perfect, but it's okay, I don't mind. So anyway, I decided to do this on a 14 count pink. Oh, the camera's kind of washing that out a little bit. Let me see if I can find, if I hold up against this blue, there we go. You can see the color better there, what it actually looks like. It is even more pink in person, but that gives you a little bit of an idea. Try it on this too. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, anyway, it's a 14 count pink Aida. I actually dyed this with Kool-Aid, which I saw somebody do and tried it a long time ago, and I hadn't used any of this pink yet, and you'll see I'm actually going to be using it for a few projects. I haven't transported this into a project bag yet, but there is all the flosses. I put this back in here because I don't want to unkit these and lose everything and there be floss everywhere. Next is actually a project I've already started, but I really want to put some more work into it. And this is, let me see, sorry for all the bag opening, Christmas Eve by the Prairie Schooler. And I kind of don't know what I want to do with this. This I'm stitching on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha. You can see how big this piece of fabric is, okay? So just notate that. For some reason, when I started it, it was a really rainy day. And I remember being like, oh, I can't remember if I bought fabric to do 2/1 or 1/1. Well, I'll just do 1/1 because this seems like a really big pattern and that's probably what I bought it for. No. It was definitely 2/1. Should I rip this out? This is honestly like half the bottom done. Should I rip it out and do 2/1? Because I really love this pattern. And I just feel like it's not going to have a very big impact if this is that tiny. I mean, honestly, it'll probably be, once it's finished. Once it's finished, hold on. Okay, that'll work. Once it's finished, it'll probably be like, honestly, like to here. It'll, like, you know, it's going to have some on both sides, but it'll probably be to here. That'll probably be the size of it and maybe like here tall. And I just want to have a bigger impact than that, I think. I don't know, but that's also a lot of stitches. I think it's like, I want to say it's like 1,500 stitches if I remember correctly. I didn't check, but what would you do? But I just feel like I'm not going to work on it if I don't rip it out. Like, I will work on it, but I won't be happy with the results. So, yeah. What would you do? I need some advice. I need people to affirm that I do need to rip it out, even though that's very sad. And I don't really want to. That's what I need. All right, next is also a Prairie Schooler. This is one I've been dying to stitch. I actually bought both of these patterns at the same time. And this is By the Chimney, by the Prairie Schooler, like I said. Yeah, By the Chimney. This is a 32 count chestnut. I really like the color of that. I think it's will look really nice on there. I don't believe it's completely full coverage, but there's a lot of stitches. It's pretty coveragey. I'm using a mix of the Classic Colorworks and DMC. So we have Spinach, Cupid, and Rosy Glow. So all the colors I have fancy flosses for. And then for the black and white, I just did B5200 and 310. See those there? Look how pretty those colors are. I'm really excited to see how that spinach works up. The cover photo on that is beautiful, which that green really sold me on wanting to stitch that in general. All right, the next one is also by the Prairie Schooler. If you've been to my channel before and seen my past Flosstubes, you'll have seen that I stitched days 1 through 4. My plan was to do it for the 12 and 24 ornaments SAL challenge. Hashtag 12 and 24 ornaments on Instagram. And I stopped after 4. So, and I did that one in like April. So I need to do at least 5. I would love to finish one of these. That was kind of a loose goal, but 5 is actually my favorite, I think. I don't know. I really like 8 too. I also like, okay, I love them all, but I really want to finish 5 on that. Oh, and I'm stitching that on 18 count natural. Right? Yes, 18 count natural, which is a DMC fabric. And I did switch some of the red. So if you'll see my previous videos, I have my notes here. I'm stitching at 2/1, and that natural is at 18 count. And I switched the red. So the bright red, I switched from 815 to 817, and the dark red I switched from 902 to 815 just to brighten it up a little bit. I think I've said in my previous videos I was inspired by Tiger Lily Designs to start that, but I didn't really want the price commitment of switching to Orpha Floss, so that was kind of my way of brightening the patterns up a little bit while still using DMC. Let me turn my page, hold another page. All right, next is everything, not just Christmas in July. Next is a cup of Christmas Cheer Santa by Pinkner and Pumpkin Quilting. I'm planning on stitching this on a 32 count Belfast, which I was inspired by Cynthia Brew to stitch it on this. I'm really excited about it. I plan to use all the called for flosses. This is 32 count petite point raw / white Belfast linen. Got off 1, 2, 3 stitch. Really pretty. I'm excited to stitch on that. I haven't stitched on a fabric like this before, and that is a free pattern, so if you want that, go get it. Come stitch it with me. Next is another free pattern. This is actually my pattern. If you saw my 50 free Christmas cross stitch patterns, you'll see at the end there I had a pattern of my own that I designed, which is the gingerbread tier tray. This one I'm stitching on 28 count touch of pink. Again, that pink is not showing up very well. There you go. That's a true color of the pink. Yeah, that's very true. So there's that. And let me show you the flosses for this one, which I love. Let me show you like this. I don't think I put 13 in yet. I can't really see. All right. I don't think I put 13 in there yet, but the rest of them are in there. Very excited to do that and share that with y'all. Next, let's see, we have 3 more. Yes, is it Common Thread Stitchery? Again, a free pattern. This is the Common Thread Stitchery. It came out last year. It is by Jody Whitman at JBW Designs. You can get this one on their Instagram. Again, link it below. And I'm doing this on that same 14 count pink. I was doing that rack stack on. Let me do it like this. You can see. Again, it's not showing this pink as it is, but I'm doing it in this color. It doesn't really give you any suggestions for count or color or anything. It just gives you the pattern. So I chose this 14 count pink. I really like to go with like a pink and mint green in my kitchen. And so I'm using 3813 is my DMC floss that I'm going to use for that. I believe Elizabeth Ann can stitch that. She does hers with pink and red, and I really like the idea of doing the pink. All right, next is Sleigh Bells Ring. Again, this is another pattern I got from a Cross Stitch magazine via Readily. This is from the Cross Stitcher January 2019. I'm using all the called for flosses. Again, it's called Sleigh Bells Ring, and I'm doing a 28 count antique white Lugana. Really love this. This one is just such a staple color. And they did theirs on a 14 count, but I just wanted, oh, there's a string or something on that. I wanted a 28 count personally. Just for this one in particular. And you planning to use all the cardboard flosses. There is a, I believe you call this Etoile, a DMC Etoile, which I've only used one time on one of the first ever patterns I've used. So excited to see how I get along with that, / a little nervous as well. And my very last pattern that I would like to start in Christmas in July, and I'm going to set as a goal for myself to do 3 of these, is the 12 Days of Christmas Stockings by Annie B's Folk Art. I got this at Market. This was the one pattern that I was like, okay, if I don't get anything else, I have to get this. Love these. Like I said, I would love to get at least 3 done. That would be my goal. I have my 14 count. By Aida, I've got all 12 squares cut out. It has a fuzzy on it. Doesn't want to come off. But I've got all my squares cut out. I have all 12 of them in here. Well, I'll show you in a second. I'll hold my bag up. That's probably crunching me to death. See? All my 12 in there. I have all my flosses. Again, need to put most of these in project bags. And then I also have the Mill Hill beans that are called for. So again, another beading project, which I think is really fun. I didn't quite realize just from the cover photo that it had beads in it, but you can even see in that one, there's some beads and there's some in the bird's wing. So not a lot of bead work, but I think that'll be a really nice touch. Put that back in later. All right, next I have some haul, which is all PDF patterns. So I'll post pictures of those here. These are all from Etsy. So the first one is Stitches Through the Years, a House Is Sampler. This one is going to be kind of a commemorative piece. I know I've talked about, which I'll talk about a little bit more at the end when I get into personal life updates, but we are moving and selling our house, and this is kind of going to be like a really special piece to me. I do want to color convert a few things. I think I want to use some silk, some Extrude Designs floss, Extrude, I always second guess how I say it because I think I always say it wrong. But anyway, I want to use some of their floss. It's going to be really special. It's going to be kind of commemorate the house that we've lived in. This is the only house we've lived in together, and we brought our son home here and we're moving, and I'm not going to get emotional, but I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be really sweet. I do want to add the dates of when we moved in / when we're moving out, which I think will be really, really sweet. Next one is Strawberry Bakery. I love this one. If you saw my Little Dove designs, my other pattern I did was something strawberry. I can't quite remember what it was. Go to like one of my first Flosstube videos, you'll see that. But I needed another strawberry pattern, and there was nothing. I feel like everything, I'm like, oh, I've seen that a lot. It didn't love it. This one I'm obsessed with, and I love the finishing on it too with the pink stripes, pink and white stripe fabric behind that. So very excited to stitch that one. I'm going to kit that one up very soon. Next is the Rudolph Biscornu, which is by Fireplace Hobby. Also, I'll put links to all these PDF patterns below. I can't remember if I said that. This one's really cute. I just really liked it. I've never stitched a Biscornu before, and I feel like it was a pretty simple pattern, which in my mind, I feel like it's going to make it simpler to stitch together. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see. And then the last one is the Santa Christmas Ornaments. This is from Crossstich TR. Really love these. They're very full coverage, or completely full coverage. They use a lot of flosses. This is one I'll probably start in December. I feel like my Christmas in July plans, I was laying down my stack. Let me show you my stack for Christmas. This is literally, there's 2 more. Just my Christmas in July plans there. So yes, I feel like I would be a little too ambitious to plan to start those as well, because I do want to get some progress on this stuff as well. So that'll probably be a December start, but I love those. They're such like a classic Christmas. I can just see myself like stitching them by the Christmas tree. Oh, just makes my heart warm. Then lastly, okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I got a package in the mail, and I was like, what is this? And it was from my grandparents, and there's a couple of random things in here. I don't know what all of these are, but okay. I haven't looked through it fully yet. We have a little tomato. Gotta love a tomato. Well, this one has a hoop. Look at all this floss. Look at it. There's more. There's lots more. There's so much more. Hold on, I'm gonna have to put these down to have more hands. There's some this, and then there's like loose ones at the bottom too. Yeah, a few different loose ones at the bottom that I haven't. I'm not gonna pull out. And I'm very excited about them. See, it's like completely full. Okay, it does smell a little. It doesn't stink, but it smells a little musty. Like it just smells a little musty. Like shut up. How do I get that out? Does anybody have any experience with that? Because obviously I want to use them. I'm super excited about them, but I don't know what the best thing to do is. I was like, maybe I could just like lay them out and sit them outside, like not in the sunlight, like under our carport, and sit them outside and let them air out. I don't want to wash them. Can I spray them with some? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but if you know the answer, please tell me. All right, so now we'll do the giveaway, and then I'll get into some personal life updates. So here are the rules. Please be 18 years or older because I have to get your address, and so I need you to be 18 years or older. Also, we're only going to do the US for this one because there is some things that would have to use a bigger poly mailer or maybe even a small box to ship. If it was just a pattern, I would do international, but for that reason, we're just going to do US only. Also, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and then comment below with the keyword, which I will give you once I show you everything that's going to be in the prize. Please don't mention the words giveaway or prize or any triggering giveaway free triggering words below, because that will attract trolls, and don't want to do that for you or me, because I don't want to have to weed those out, and I don't want you not to get, win this, because there's people who don't actually care about cross stitch trying to win it. The first thing is this pattern by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. If it'll focus on that and not my face. This is easy peasy. Yeah, easy peasy. I will include all the flosses. It shows you the flosses on the back. I'm going to include all the flosses. I just haven't put them in here yet, but I do have them purchased. So I'm going to include all the flosses with that. I have a little bit of fabric, which I don't know. I feel like it went nicely with the pattern. You could use it to like finish. Let's say you were doing a pillow finish. I didn't want to do anything too crazy, so we want this like nice minty green, because if you don't want to use it for this pattern, you can use it for a lot. I did include, or am gonna include, 2 hoops. We have this hoop, which kind of could be like your working hoop, and then this one if you wanted to finish it in a hoop. I do believe it would fit. I don't know, I just saw these hoops, I was like, I'm gonna get the hoops for giveaway. So, and then lastly is a little lemon bath bomb, because I feel like it went really well with the pattern. So we have our lemon stuff. So the pattern with all the DMC flosses, and the lemon bath bomb, the fabric, and the 2 hoops. All right, so if you've watched my channel for a little while, you'll know we are in the process of selling our house. And it has actually sold. We haven't like signed the papers or anything yet. We're not going to do that till closing, which tentatively is September 2nd. We'll probably move out of here a week or 2 before that. But yes, so it has sold. They've signed the paperwork. So I'm currently packing up. That's what I did all morning. I packed like 4 boxes. It is a little while away, so I'm not packing like everything, but like the things in the back of your closet like you don't need. Like I'm making sure that like all our decorations are packed for Christmas stuff, like all this all packed nicely, and then like the small appliances that you don't really use, we're not gonna get rid of. Like we have a popcorn maker and popcorn buckets and a shaved ice machine, and like things we don't really need between now and then, like winter clothes, things like that. So my goal is to pack like 1 box a day. So that is happening, which I'm really excited about. It feels nice to kind of know, okay, this is our plan. This is what's happening, and it is happening, which I'm so excited about. Also, the last video I posted, I was not expecting it to do what it did. It got almost 3,000 views. I gained like, this giveaway was originally going to be my 100 subscriber giveaway, because the last time I posted a Flosstube, I didn't have 100 subscribers, And now, like I said, I have 400. So thank you to everybody who watched that video, liked that video, commented on that video. Such sweet comments, especially about my pattern, which I was very, very thankful for because I was quite nervous to put that out. So thank you so much to anybody who interacted with that video in any way and subscribed from that. I'm super, super thankful for you, and I hope you stick around for our regularly scheduled floss tubes as well. There will be more videos like that in the future. I already have a few plans to make some of those. I also thought it would be fun to do like 50 cross stitch patterns under $5 on Etsy or something like that in specific genres. So, or maybe it's not a free pattern, but it's a very inexpensive pattern. So I might do that as well. Let me know if that sounds like something you'd want to see. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for supporting me in my passion project, my hobby. I just love to do this. I love to cross stitch. I've always loved to craft. And I'm really thankful that you are here and watching this, especially if you made it to the end of this very long video. I will see you in another 2 weeks, if not before then. And I hope you have wonderful stitching between now and then. And let me know below what you're stitching. What are you stitching on? If you're stitching while you're watching this, what were you stitching on? Because I would love to know. All right, don't forget about that giveaway. Comment lemon, and then all those other things I said earlier. And I will see you next time. Bye.